Hi everyone. I'm back to move on with these folder journal kits. This is one of the covers that I had, and I went ahead and took the extra 4 pages and using this cutting guide that I have on my Facebook group. If you're interested in that, it's facebook.com/groups/burlap daily bread, no and the link is below in the description also. But using 2 for this page and 1 for each of these, I come up with all of this ephemera. So there's large tag, medium tags, there's a side pocket, there are journal cards and tucks, and there's some corner pockets. There's a couple more, corner tucks, and then a couple more regular pockets, and this is a horizontal belly band. There's a small tag, and then there's some tickets, and everything is the same on this side with the exception of the banners that I've done. And I have used my envelope punch to make the banners this time, and also to cut into the pockets and stuff. So what I'll probably do is take the smaller items and put them in a little not a glassine bag. You could do that, but I have the clear envelopes like that, like cellophane envelopes, I suppose they are. So I'll put those just so those little pieces don't fall out. But that's what I want to do today, is go ahead and cut out these pieces. And there again, like I said, if you want to download the cutting guide, it is in my Facebook group, and in the file section. And also I already uploaded the lined paper, and that's a Word doc. So if you need that in a different format, just let me know and I'll see what I can do about it. I figure most people have Word. Okay guys, I have no idea where I was. My battery died, and yeah, I don't know. I remember I was talking about the ephemera that was in here, and I'm going to put the smaller pieces in the cellophane bags, and I've uploaded the file for the cutting guides and for the lined paper to my Facebook group, which will be linked below. I think that's pretty much it. So anyway, I've gone through and I folded all the covers for these, and I'm just going to cut one with you. I've got one done, and I've got 7 journals altogether that I'm making. So, but we'll do one together. So let's see. Here's the cover of this one. I'm going to put that aside for a second. And for the first cutting guide, I need, let's see, this is going to be vertical and these are horizontal. So it can be something with a directional pattern. I'll be fine. Maybe I'll do the bicycles, even though it's kind of random. I think that would look cool with the first one. And then I will do let's do the plaid. Let's do the plaid. So that'll be the first 2, and then these will be the last 2 cutting guides. So the first cutting guide, it says excuse me, and I've added, this will be the line that you cut first, okay, to separate the tags and the journal cards. So cut 2 full 12 by 12 sheets using this template. It's not a template, it's a cutting guide. But anyway, so that's what we're going to do, and I'm going to do both of them at the same time. We'll see how well that works out. I think it'll work. So, on the cutting guide, it says do this horizontal line first. So this is the top. So to cut that, I'm going to, this is the top over here, and I'm going to cut off 6 inches. Okay. So now we have the bottom and we have the top. Okay, the top is going to be cut at 3. And then we will cut these at 4. Again at 4. Same thing here. And one more at 4. Okay, so there we go. We've got our, sort those out, and then I probably will round the corners because I like to round the corners on my journal cards, but we'll do that in a minute. Okay, now we have this piece, and this will be our tags. So we're going to cut these at 3. And I'll just go ahead and separate them out. Sorry if you can hear my cat. She's dying to get in this room, and she's digging. It was a living room full of people, and she wants in here with me. Okay. And one more cut at 3 inches, so these will be 3 by 6. And there we go. So that was cutting guide 1. So these are our tags, and those are our journal cards, and that was cutting guide 1. Now, we're going to go to cutting guide 2. On cutting guide 2, and I don't know if you guys can see all this or not. Probably not. Let me see if I go over just a tad. I can put that under, then you can. Okay, so we are going to cut off this top piece here, and this is a 4-inch line. So let's do, I think I'm going to do the leaves on this one. So the first thing we want to do is cut off that 4-inch line, so that gives us an 8-inch piece on the bottom, and we have that here. Set that aside. We'll take care of these pieces first. So I'm going to turn that this way, and I'm going to cut off a 3. Is that right? Yeah, 3. And a 2. And this should be 7. Double check. Yes, it is. So this will be 3.5. And my cutter only goes to 3 1/4, so I put a dot there at 3.5. Okay, so these will be pockets. And I have a tag and a tuck. Okay, now we have this part left. So we're going to cut off this tag by bringing this over to 8. That gives us a large tag. And if this was directional, because this is an 8 by 8 square, it doesn't really matter which way. So I'm going to cut off the other 4 by 8 inch tag. And then I'm going to turn this piece that remains, that's this piece here, and I'm going to cut at 3 and 2 and that should leave me a piece at 3, and it does. And this one I'm going to turn over because I want to cut this diagonally. So I'm going to turn it this way actually, because basically I want an inch from here, flip it all the way around, and I want from here to here is an inch. Okay, and then I'm going to cut this corner, well, not corner to corner, but on the 1 inch line there, and that will give me 2 corner pieces. Okay, and then we have our other tuck and tag. I'm going to wait to snip all the corners and all of that until the end. Okay, so now the last piece we have is going to be cutting guide 3, and we are going to cut across here, which is a 5 inch line. So I'm going to bring this down to 7 because 7 and 5 is 12. And this will be this bottom portion, and I'm going to set that aside. So the first thing I want to do on this top piece is cut off this excuse me, 1 by 5 strip. So I guess I can do that here. So 1 inch. Excuse me, and then I need a 4 inch. This will be another corner pocket here. And then this piece that is left is going to be 7 by 5, so we're going to cut it in half this way at 2.5, and that will give us 2 side pockets. Okay, now we have this bottom piece, so we want to cut off the 1 by 7 belly band. This is the vertical belly band, and we're going to cut off, let's see, 3, 6, 7, 8, yeah, so 4. We're going to cut off this one at 4. And then cut them in half at 3.5. And that's 2 more pockets. And now we are left with a 7 by 7 inch piece. So the first thing we want to do is cut off the banner strip at 1 inch. And then we're going to cut off the ticket strip at 1 inch. And we are going to cut this in half at 3 inches for tags. Okay, so that's pretty much all the cutting with that. Now I'm going to go back to cutting guide 1, and I'm going to pull out these pieces, and we're going to finesse them into what we want them to be. So let's see. Okay, let me put all of these aside for the moment. So we want tags. These are tags. You can do anything you want with the tags. You could leave them this way, just rectangular. You could corner punch the corners with a fancy cut, something like this, if you like. you could just round the corners, or you can give them the old tag treatment. That's what I'm going to call it. So I'm just going to cut off this corner, and we're going to use this corner to clip all these tags. We're going to make, basically using the first one as our template. I just flipped that corner piece over to use on the other side, and now we will use that one to clip the rest. Actually, I do want to line them up though, so that I get that corner the same. It's a little easier to see on some than the others. And you'll notice that I'm slightly off on some of these. That's because the paper is not true 12 by 12. It's off like a smidge, or the strip on the top may not have been exactly perforated so that the paper was 12 by 12. It doesn't matter. Nobody's gonna hold these tags up together and say, oh, this one's off a 1/16 of an inch. When they're all said and done, they're gonna look the same. So let's punch a hole in these. Aren't those cute with the little bicycles? I just think they're cute. Got some. It's not wanting to go. Oh, there you go. Okay. So now we've got these tags, and we'll use one of these templates to trim these tags. So that one is not right. So we'll line them up on one side because it's off just slightly, and trim it. And then we'll line them up on the other side and trim it. And then I'm just going to punch a hole in that. I'm not using that to punch the hole because I'm not good at lining it back up, and so I'm just going to punch it. And I'm using the 3/16 side. As long as it's close to the middle, I'm good. Alright, so there's our tags, our medium tags. Let me get all these corners up. And I'm losing some light really quickly since I had to stop and charge my camera. So I don't want this to be, excuse me, too long, but let's go ahead and get these journal cards done. So I can usually do each batch with my corner rounder. So let's do that. We'll line up this corner using the 1/2 inch side and pop. Okay, same thing here. And there again, they are not going to line up perfectly because my paper wasn't a true 12 by 12, but it's close enough. Okay, so there's my journal cards. There's 6 of those. Okay, we'll do the flannel one. I love these with the flannel. It almost looks like you'd expect it to be soft and fluffy. Okay, so now I've got those journal cards done. Alright, so that is template cutting guide. I don't know why I keep saying template. Cutting guide 1. Alright, let's do cutting guide 2. Okay, so on cutting guide 2 we had 2 large tags. So let's go ahead and we'll go ahead and use this template again to cut these. Just trim off that side there, and same thing over here. Okay, so 2 large tags. Let's punch 2 holes. Oh, the cat is back. Okay, so 2 large tags, done. Alright, what's the next thing on here? We have 2 corners. We don't need to do anything to those. We had 2 small tags, and rather than using that large corner on those as a template, I'm going to just cut one corner and use that so it's a little bit smaller, and then I'll use this one to finish it up. And there we go. Now we need a hole. You don't have to punch a hole if you don't want a hole. If you're going to just staple some lace or something at the top, 2 small tags. But even if I'm not going to put fabric in the top, I like to put the hole in there just so I know what it is. Okay, so now I have looks like 2 tucks, and the tucks are 3x4, the pockets are slightly bigger by 1/2 inch. So these are tuck spots. Now normally in a book I'm going to put one on each side of the journal, one on each half. So I'm going to put these back to back or front to front, either way, and I'm just going to corner round one corner. And that way when I put them in my book, I'll have a left and a right. Okay, so those are my tucks. Now for my pockets, I'm going to use my envelope punch board, and because these are 4 inches, I'm going to put these in at the 2-inch line and punch. And now I have a nice little pocket. Okay, so that was cutting guide 2. Now let's go on to cutting guide 3. So what have we here? We've got 2 tags. These are medium tags. We've got some pockets. We've got some side tucks, all of which I'm going to use my envelope punch to punch. So let's do the side pockets. They are 7 inches, so I'm going to line it up at 3.5. Oops. And punch. And then I'll be using these on either side of a journal page. Okay. You can use your circle punch if you want. These are the pockets. So I'm going to line that up at 2 and punch. So I've got my pockets. Okay. I don't need the envelope punch for this. I need a medium tag because these are also medium tags, and I'm just going to use those as template. I probably should turn it around, be easier to see. There we go. So there's my medium tag, and punch a hole in this one. Okay, some more tags. So what else do we have left over here? I've got, this is our banner strip and our ticket strip. So hold on, I want to hold on to those for a second because I want to do something a little bit different than I normally do. This is a belly band, a vertical belly band and a horizontal belly band. Don't need to do anything with those. This is the corner pocket, so I want to bring that in. Now, I will say again, and I think I said this in my in the other video, I would mark these on the back what they are as you're cutting them, only so that you can remember. I mean, you don't have to do what I'm doing or what's written on the cutting guide, but if you want to do it that way, it can get confusing as to which piece is which. So go ahead and write on the back. So there's our two corner pieces, corner pockets. And okay, so now we have our ticket strip is the small one. Okay, so for our banner, I'll bring my cutter back here. For our banner, we cut these 2 1/4 and 2 1/4, and you're left with 2 1/2. Now, if you don't want 2 1/2, if you want them all three the same size, cut off that last 1/4 inch. That'll be your only waste out of this page. And then I am going to use the corner or the envelope punch. And the way I line this up, these are 1 inch wide. When I stick it in here, the edge of this lines up with the this little pointer thing here. And just like that, I have a tail. It's a little bit easier than cutting them. There again, go straight in and line this corner of this plastic with the edge of the paper there. Because they're 1 inch, that centers it. Okay, and that will be the banners. Okay. Don't need the envelope punch anymore. However, I want to use this. The tickets are 1 by 2. So where is my, there it is. Okay, so let's see. I want to get this where you can see this. The tickets are 1 by 2. So what I want to do is put this in my score board, and I'm going to score it 2 inches. So 2 and 4. All right. Now I'll be able to fold those. And you can see that that paper is not exactly 6. So I'm just going to trim that piece down because I want them all the same. And I'm going to pull out my other hole punch. This is my old-timey hole punch, and I'm just going to 1/4. I hope you can see that. I'm doing 1/4 punch, 1/4 of the circle on that corner. And what that does, if I do all 4 corners, is it's going to look like a ticket strip. Okay? So you can see there, it looks like the ticket strip. And you can leave them like this, or you can cut them apart. This time I thought I might want to leave them because, you know, I like to do sometimes just tuck them in a pocket and have the piece hanging out. There's all kinds of things you can do with the tickets. But if you want to cut them apart, they're 1 by 2. That's what I have on the cutting guide. But if you don't, you don't have to. You can leave them together, punch them all at the same time, just score it 2 inches or cut it 2 inches, your choice. So there we go. Now that is all we need to do for the cutting. And now we have all of this ephemera to put in here. So let's see what we have. I will sort them out. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 journal cards. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 journal cards. So there's 6 so far. We've got tickets over here and banners over here. We've got corner pockets. We've got a vertical and a horizontal belly band. We've got 2 regular pockets. We've got 2 side tucks or side pockets, whatever you want to call them. 2 more regular pockets here in the other pattern. We've got 2 corner tucks. These will be glued down just on this side, leaving the round open for tucking. We've got 2 small tags. We've got 2 more corner pockets. We've got 2 large tags. And then we've got medium tags. There's 2 of those and 4 of these and 4 of these. So that is a lot of ephemera that can fit just with those 4 pages of 12 by 12. That's pretty much everything you're going to need for this journal. And then we'll have the lined paper sewn in. So I'm going to have to finish printing this out because I haven't finished that. But hopefully tomorrow we'll come back. And what I was thinking of doing, actually tomorrow there won't be a video, but Thursday, what I was thinking of doing is going ahead and going through the journal and putting it together. I want to sell these as a kit, but I want people to be able to know how they can be used. So we'll go through on Thursday putting one of these together, so you'll know where you can put that. It doesn't have to be that way. You're free to do it however you want, but just an idea of what you can do with the journal and the tickets and the banners and etc. Okay, so thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you Thursday. Bye now.